Hello Virgo, welcome to your reading. My name is Maria and this is a tarot truth story for you if you have Virgo anywhere in your chart, or even if you don't. If you were drawn to this video for some other reason and if it speaks to you, then surely you were directed here and the story is for you as well. We have a reading on the table with the Cosmic Creatures deck, Zen Tarot and Muse Tarot, and we start out with this gorgeous card, gorgeous creature, the elephant, the gentle giant, comes out as you, of course, as this incredibly empathic, intelligent, gorgeous creature that walks the earth with so much grace and is so oriented around community and helping, and has great memory. I feel like that sort of came out as important suddenly. You come out as the elephant, as somebody who has been looking for a home, looking for belonging, because this elephant walks alone and is really not meant to. It's meant to be with its flock, it's meant to be with its tribe. So I think that you have been looking for your tribe. You've been wondering where it was. Where was that? Where were your people? Where do you belong? Could have been also traveling from country to country or place to place, looking for your real home, a place that really felt like home. And that search, this looking for a home, this looking for somewhere where your people are, has really been a process of incredible maturing for you. So all this time where you haven't really felt like you found that place that was yours has been, in a way, spirit working on you, or your soul working on you to beautify you. And a maturing process is never easy. It always comes sort of with a loss. If we think of maturity as something in terms of age, it is, you know, we lose youth, but then we gain skills and experience and wisdom and knowledge and all of this. So there is sort of a price you pay for maturing, and that has for sure been happening to you. This also, it came out with two examples. They're a little weird, but I feel like I have to mention them. So one example was, this is in the past, it has happened that you fell ill, and you know, because this one looks of someone who lost all of their hair. Then something incredibly beautiful started flowering inside of you during that period. Or you were somehow confined, you went to prison, got a lot of beautiful tattoos, started seeing life in a different light. And both of these could have been, of course, metaphorical, right? You could have felt like you were confined in some way. It really comes out as that. And that confinement was sort of pressuring you into developing all of these flowers, into this flowering that I would assume at this point you appreciate, although, you know, you must have felt for quite a while that the price was very high. But the reason why was because actually Spirit wanted to come in and show you that you were already carrying too many burdens, way too many burdens. You were carrying so much that you maybe have been so used to carrying, you were not even aware of it anymore, but you were actually burdened by it. So this something really big came in and sort of was the straw that broke the camel's back, or I mean the oak that broke the camel's back. Something big, something that was a really big burden came in, and it sort of, I think, really started this process of loss and gain and changing, and made you, because what it wanted to make you more free. It wanted to free you from your burdens. And you, I think, without knowing it, was probably very attached to your burdens. So it hasn't been very easy to let them go. But it looks to me like the divine came in, like your soul showed up, or your higher self, or it could have been in the shape of some outer person or energy. I do see some other outer person or energy coming in later in the reading, but of course there could be more. This one comes out as casting light on the shadow, and it also comes out as a very spiritual energy, just because of the purple light and the yellow golden light. And what it wanted to show you, what this one wanted to show you, however it showed up in your life, was that you have capacity for so much more than what you were already doing. That in a way you were already in a confinement, but you were not in a confinement that was completely conducive to your growth. It was not really helping you become this star that you're actually meant to be. That you're meant to be. You're meant to really, really shine. You're meant to shine much more than you have been doing, because you've been picking up a lot of burdens on the way and just carrying them, even though they might not have been yours. Not all of them. So the universe would actually really like you to flower, to blossom, and to become this beautiful, amazing, shining star that you're really meant to be. You're not meant to walk up a mountain carrying water for everybody as such. You know, you're actually meant to be more of an inspirational person. You could have been somebody who was helping a lot of people, but doing it maybe very practically, or very in like every person in this way, that way. But really the universe wants to say, no, we would actually like you to stand up and inspire people by just who you are and what you are, because it will change many more people's lives. It'll make a bigger difference, and it's what was designed for you. It will also make you very happy. It will bring you into a lot of abundance. But then actually then we go, I think the next part of the reading sort of shows a journey that you've been on within this maturing process, or what has been happening. It's kind of a storyline, so you have to find yourself in the past and present tenses, but I'm just going to describe this as something that has happened. So I think that one of the ways that you've been dealing with your burdens, and one of the ways that you've been sort of hiding the fact that you were carrying a lot of burdens from yourself, was by being in some ways very sort of light, very high vibe, very, I would say probably, this comes out as somebody who doesn't commit. You haven't really committed to anybody or anything, because I think that if you did, you would have had to acknowledge the fact that you were actually carrying a lot of burdens. You would have had to look at this, and you would probably have had to sort out all of those burdens, like make a real cleanup job, a real detoxing, you know, taking everything out of the shelves and looking at it and asking yourself if you want it or not, if you wanted to carry it or not, if it was worth staying away from your destiny for. But so I think that your strategy in life or in the world or in some area has been to be very light, to sort of fly from flower to flower. This could also have been how you were dealing with maybe your living situation or your relationships, something like that. And I think you were trying to stay very high vibe. I don't think it's been in a bad way at all. You just wanted to be light, because because you unconsciously maybe knew that you were carrying very heavy burdens, so you wanted to be light. But really, of course, you were suppressing a knowledge about something other. You were suppressing a knowledge about, I think, your greater potential, because what you were suppressing comes out quite stunningly as the awakening and the page of emotions, speaking very loudly about your heart. your heart chakra awakening. So this one looks like, you know, sending energy up to spirit and receiving energy back down. And then this one speaks about sort of that light emanating out into the world. And I think that this is what spirit really wanted you to get to, that this is your star quality. Your star quality comes from your heart, and it has to do with spirit wanting to communicate with you directly, and then that energy emanating into the world. So you can see how that's quite another energy than carrying water for everybody, right? Because you can only all the time carry sort of one bucket of water, so to speak. This, you can just shine a light on a lot of people, and it's coming from direct communion with spirit, and that's what spirit will like you has been wanting you to do. It's been wanting you to get to this heart space. And I think also maybe your second chakra is being asked to be involved, you know, your core, your it sits right below the navel. So maybe there was an energy there physically or energetically that has been asking for your attention. And you know, as long as you, even though you've been trying, you know, and with the best of intentions to keep yourself high vibe and flying from flower to flower and sort of pollinating and living life like that, the deeper truth is that you actually needed to come into more of your own depth and look a little bit more at your burdens in order to be really high vibe, to be completely in divinity, connected with that, connected with your real purpose, which is to become this. So how I think this played out is that some trickster energy came into your life. The monkey comes out, and this monkey comes out as an energy that you were not able to outsmart. And we can't outsmart a monkey, certainly not in its own environment. It's much smarter than us. It'll outsmart us, outmaneuver us. It'll just, you know, do tricks on us. And if in this environment where this naturally lives, we don't stand a chance. So this is a very powerful energy that came in with some. It could have been irritant, or it could have been more serious than that. It could have been the thing that brought you into some sort of confinement, or of course, or could have been a person that came in and sort of just, you know, had you running around in circles, or trying to figure, you know, maybe bringing you into sort of a mental rut where you're trying to figure some things out, or this was just sort of dragging you around in the arena, I would say, and it was difficult for you to deal with, but it is actually sent by the divine to teach you. And what it wants to teach you, what it has been wanting to teach you, what it is teaching you, depending on where you are on the storyline, is to step onto your path. It wants you to step on your path. I'm not saying that what you've been doing until now hasn't been your path, but it's just, you're meant for more. This is sort of a level that you were meant to transcend at this point. Going uphill is like, you've already done that, and you're not meant to keep going uphill all your life. You're meant to travel another road. It's supposed to change. And so whatever this energy was in your life, it has been forcing you to look at how you walk through life differently, and to become much more, I think, present and vigilant with every step that you make. Every single step has been carefully monitored and done with precision and awareness, because I don't think you've had a choice. So if this energy was actually the divine itself coming in, then which it was, but it could have been in the shape of a person. But what that does, when spirit comes in and sort of takes over our life because it wants to upgrade us, and it's like, we're taking over, hold on to your hat, it's gonna happen, then we don't have any overview over the situation anymore. It's all the time just nuggets. It's sort of like if you're in pitch darkness and then the universe turns on a flashlight and it only shows you the next one step, only one. So it's that this is really how it works when spirit takes over, is that we don't know where it's going. We don't have an overview like what you did before. You were flying around, you could see the flowers, you could pick and choose, but then suddenly your life changed, sort of like a paradigm shift, to where you had almost no options, maybe only the one option the universe was asking you to take in every single moment, and not having any clue as to where this was actually going, what was the bigger picture. But just because that's how spirit works, it requires faith. So it's only just like the spotlight in pitch darkness, and we can see the next step, and then we take that one, and then we hope that there's not going to be an abyss on the next side of it, and then the spotlight shows again, and then one more step. So it's a complete change of how you do things, how your life is unfolding, how you navigate your life. And it probably, that was incredibly uncomfortable and certainly not at all what you wanted. And very obviously you reacted with, I think you've been trying to get out of that situation, sort of fighting it, trying to avoid it, maybe fighting a lot with this person if it's a person, but just as you would. I mean, I think that's very natural when things change to that degree and we feel confined. Some part of us is just going to try to rebel. So sure, that was your reaction. Your reaction was to fight against it. I think you also, this swan always comes out as having two sides. It both has that aggressive, territorial, tantrum throwing side, but it's also incredibly graceful. It's something that spreads a lot of beauty in the world. It mates for life. It's really about love. So I think that half of the time, or some of the time, I think you've actually been going through this change with an immense amount of grace. And then some of the time you've been probably pretty angry with whatever person came in and or the universe. Maybe throwing some tantrums, which I think is completely understandable. Who wouldn't? It kind of also shows your fighter spirit, so it's not bad at all. But sooner or later, I think you have or will surrender to let spirit carry you, because that's really what it's trying to do. It's trying to carry you, but it can't carry you completely, until you surrender, until you let it be, until you accept that yes, your life completely changed. Very clearly you got your call to adventure, and nothing was the same after that. And I think that happens in most human lives, I think, if not all. That's the myth that's waiting to happen, unfold in our life. And so you're actually, you might be here at this point. You might be sort of leaning into this process and arriving at a lot of strength because of it, to a new strength. Now see the difference between what you were and what you're becoming. This one walking uphill, carrying heavy water in jars of clay. This one being carried by a lion. So I think that that is what has been happening and is happening, and you're being asked how to reach this. If you haven't completely reached it, or if you're having a hard time staying in that surrender energy, here's the advice, or here's how you did it, or how you're gonna do it, is really about training yourself mentally to look at what you've gained and not at what you've lost. That's what the Four of Cups, Four of Emotions is about. It's about, just fundamentally and traditionally, that's what this card is you know, not grieving over the hair and celebrating the flowers. And it's being presented as a mental exercise, as something you can practice and get better at, because it will really support you. It will so support you, because in a way, looking at what you lost and not at what you gained is a way of staying in the opposition to the situation. It's like fighting against it, is a fighting against the now. And it's kind of pointless in a way, because what is lost is lost. It'll come back in another shape, so to speak. But it is not there right now, but something else has come. And then we end on these two very beautiful energies just at the end here, speaking to me about the bear and the Chariot, speaking about you. This looks like a bear that sort of comes out of hibernation, just taking its first step in the spring sun. And it really was a message about how you've gone through sort of a winter. You've gone through the winter, maybe the winter of your life. It could have been both literally, but certainly spiritually, metaphorically. And spring is about to arrive. That is what has been happening. It has been a winter. Could have been long, I don't know, or short, you'll know. Either way, probably felt long. But it's just so full of hope, this card, that you'll take your steps out of this, and you're not going to stay in winter forever. Spring is coming, and you'll move forward. And the way you'll move forward is with every single energy supporting you, instead of you carrying everybody. I get chills up and down my spine at this change. It's so stunning. It's really incredible. All of that energy that you used to give out to others is gonna come back and then some, and it's all gonna support you and move you forward and have you step in to this gorgeousness that the universe has been wanting you to get to. I think it's so beautiful, Virgo, and you so deserve it. You so deserve it. You've given so much, and it's coming back to you tenfold. It really is. You just needed to release the burdens that you didn't know you were carrying, to release the attachment to them, and to go through this process. And I feel like you've gone so far. You're on the verge of the spring. So this was your reading, Virgo. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for being here. If you liked it, if you got something out of it, please like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that. And come back again soon. Bye.